looked at stress, resiliency, all those kind of things, and what that looks like. And one of the big things was fitness, at least getting outside, seeing the sunshine, those kind of things. And so what we have here is a crew of elite athletes and top coaches around, and they're going to share with us just what performance looks like. You can ask them nutrition questions. So I'm going to hand the mic over to Ben. So for those of you who may not know, this is Ben Smith, 2015 fittest man on earth, and has competed in the games how many years now? 11 years, so he's like an OG of CrossFit. So I'm going to turn the mic over to him, let each one of these gentlemen do an introduction, and then they're going to kind of give a brief of what the workouts are, what they look like, benefits of, and then we're going to have a Q&A time that you can fire.
Hey guys, how we doing? Morning, afternoon, yeah. So I'm Ben Smith. I own CrossFit Krypton. I started CrossFit Krypton in 2012 out of college. I went to Old Dominion University. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. Went through a mechanical engineering degree, kind of like going through the motions. My dad's a CV, or was a CV. And so I kind of thought I wanted to follow in his footsteps and do the engineering thing, but I ended up opening a gym, so now that's still what we're doing, bringing fitness to the community and to as many people as we possibly can, so it's a lot of fun. I love what I do. I don't say my work or anything, it's just go in and get to torture people with some really good workouts and help make them fitter, but yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I'm a CrossFit Games athlete. I've competed for like Chad said, 11 years. The part that I love about CrossFit is mostly the community side of things, being able to bring your family into the gym, bring your friends into the gym, and kind of like suffer together a little bit, do something productive together as a community. So that's kind of my favorite part of it. And I also dabble in the sport, so I also compete on the side as well. But
so I'm Tom Campbell. I'm one of the coaches at Krypton. I've been coaching there for 2-3 years now, something like that. But as Chad said, I'm also a faculty member over at Old Dominion University. I'm an athletic trainer by trade. I found CrossFit in 2017, and before that I was a huge naysayer of what CrossFit actually is. But I stepped into the gym one day and tried out a workout and fell in love with it. And like Ben was saying, one of the biggest pieces that kind of attracted me to it was the community feeling and keeping people accountable, or holding people accountable for what they're saying they're doing. So yeah, I'm excited to be here with you guys today, and looking forward to some of the questions that you're going to have.
Hey guys, my name is Austin Spencer. I am a coach at CrossFit Krypton as of like a month ago. Just moved here from Maine, where I've been coaching and competing out of there for 10 or 11 years now. So been in the sport and just the CrossFit methodology for a long time, and excited to be here and kind of hopefully, like Ben said, like have a good conversation with you guys about what it is and what it's all about and what we can do to hopefully help you guys have a little more fun with that fitness side of things.
How you doing? So Ben calls himself the OG. I think I've got him beat. I'm the retired guy here, so 21 years in the Navy, senior chief master diver. Been around, been in fitness for as long as I can think. I think one of the biggest things that drew me to CrossFit was the fact that it's trackable, it keeps you accountable. It's not just a mundane thing, you go to the gym every hour and just lift weights and do whatever. It was something that had a goal that pushed me to be a better person. I've been coaching at the gym for about 10 years now, almost 10 years. Games athlete, and I work right over here at CP 160. I think you guys will probably see me within the near future. My divers come over and probably be diving on the ship quite a bit anyway. So, like the rest of them said, real excited to hear the questions you have, and please don't hold anything back if you've got a question to ask.
yeah, so in the CrossFit level 1, remember Ben? None of us had. They give different whiteboard presentations where they'll talk about different subjects for like an hour, and then they'll break, and then they'll go over some movements for workout, and then they'll come back and they'll give another lecture on nutrition. They'll give another lecture on nutrition on what CrossFit is. Like one of them is what is CrossFit, and they go through like an hour trying to tell you what it is. constant varying functional movement done at a high intensity. Doesn't mean a lot to anybody that's kind of outside the space. So CrossFit kind of takes all of those modalities, combines them together into one program, and the whole idea is that you're as well-rounded as you can possibly be. So like if you find yourself, you're incredibly strong, then you go to the gym, you should spend probably most of your time not developing your strength more, you should spend more of your time working on your cardiovascular system.
So, as I mentioned before, I'm an athletic trainer, and my job is basically identifying what could potentially injure a person, kind of trying to mitigate that happening. And that was probably one of the biggest things that was a detractor for me actually trying out CrossFit, right? Like, you see all over the place, oh, you do CrossFit, you're gonna get injured, you're gonna hurt your back, you're gonna do whatever. The research behind it is actually, there is no increased risk for someone sustaining an injury who does CrossFit versus a person who goes to Globo Gym on Monday and does chest and tries, and Tuesday does back and buys. As a matter of fact, me personally, looking at like some of the athletes that I've worked with over the years, the functional movements like Ben was talking about that you actually do in CrossFit, so picking up a sandbag off the ground, relates more to some of the duties that you're going to be doing in not only your everyday life and maybe specifically your job, right? So when is there ever a time that you're just sitting there bicep curl or something, right? If you think about it, if I'm picking up that sandbag, it mimics, I don't know, I have a new daughter who's actually very large, 22 pounds. But picking up that baby off the ground in the middle of the night, right? It mimics a movement like that versus some of the other movements that you typically do if you're just going to like a building.
Does anything add?
Yeah.
So my argument with that question that that's usually one of the first questions we hear about CrossFit. And like as CrossFit has aged and we become more experienced with coaching people and stuff like that, obviously our ability to coach people and do all of these movements in a safer, more technical manner can mitigate a lot of those injuries. But also, I mean, every sport anyone does, there's a pretty high chance of injury. It's just kind of what we do. CrossFit's no different. Like, you could push it too far, maybe you don't, whatever, it happens. I think if you wanted 0% probability of getting injured, you can just sit on the couch all day and do nothing, right? But that's not a very fun, healthy way to live. So I'd rather personally get up, go do something, risk a little bit of injury here and there, maybe you tweak the muscle and you heal in a week or two and then you're back to work, like stuff like that happens. Personally, I've gotten much worse injuries playing soccer and rugby than I ever have in CrossFit, so I'll stick with CrossFit any day.
I think the biggest thing I see, and I've been around my community, is we've got a lot of alpha personalities. So pride gets in the way of a lot of those injuries. People coming in, stepping into the sport and saying, yeah, I can do all this all at once, or I want to be a games athlete, or anything like that. Not understanding their ability, what their body's going through at that moment. I think that's one of the big factors in how people get hurt. So.
And I think he just wanted a name for them so that they were consistent and they didn't change, because there is so much variance in CrossFit. So the idea is, like I explained before, you're trying to do different things. So they combine a lot of different things together. So it's kind of like just your standardized test. Like you might take a physical fitness test, you would just have a name for that, workout, so that you kind of know what that is, exactly what the standards might be, and then you would go through that workout.
Yeah, so that is kind of on the military side. Most of the hero workouts are obviously all after fallen heroes that have passed away in the military and in armed forces and in local law enforcement, first responders as well. That is one of the workouts that we recognize usually on a Veterans Day that we do. So usually we get together on Memorial Day or the beginning of summer. We'll do Murph. That I'm sure, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that, but it's a mile run, 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then a mile run. So We do that with a 20-pound vest. But that's an example of one of the hero workouts.
3 movements in the workout. Okay, 3 movements in the workout. The first movement, Tom is going to demo all of them.